Hey guys, this is AI Gaming 1776 and we are playing Doom with a GTX 745. Now the goal of this video is to show you how the game plays, how it performs, and also show you the best settings for playing the game with a GTX 745, which we are actually going to do in just a couple of moments. The game is loading for us. We are now into the game and I just want to show you one thing and then I'll show you the settings. Alright, so see how the frame rate's at 53? You're not going to get that. All right, so turn around, see how it's at 44. You're not going to get that either. All right, but I'm just showing you that it can go from 44 to now it's at 52, but it can go like an almost 10 frame per second difference just from swinging the camera around. Okay, it's not going to be a consistent frame rate. Just letting you know that right now. All right, so let's get in here. Video, where 720p. You can actually go to 1366 by 768. The only reason I didn't do that for this video is I don't know what YouTube would do with that resolution. So I picked a resolution that I know YouTube will accept. I know YouTube takes 720p. Alright. Anti-aliasing is maxed out. You can turn it off, but it doesn't really help too much to do so. So I don't do that. Alright, so let's go to advanced. Here's the custom profile. Lights quality ultra, shadow quality high, player self shadow is ticked, directional occlusion quality is high, decal quality is ultra, decal filtering is trilinear, virtual, texturizing page size is ultra, reflections are ultra, particles quality is ultra, compute shaders are ticked, motion blur quality is low. You can pause it if you need to. Alright, keep going. And then this should be the rest right here. Again, compute shaders are ticked, motion blur quality is low, depth of field is off, depth of field anti-aliasing is off, HDR bloom is ticked, lens flare is ticked, lens dirt is ticked. Alright, lens dirt and lens flare actually not that bad. Okay, so as far as why I chose these settings, here's the quickest way I can explain it. At 1080p, the game will not even play at 30 frames per second. At 900p, the game will not even play at 30 frames per second, and that's at the lowest settings for both of those. So I had to go below 900p. All right, the first 16 by 9 setting below 900p, this one right here, the 1366 by 768, that will play above 30 frames per second. Okay, fine. Now you're at 30 frames per second, you may as well turn some of the settings up. I mean, that's the simplest way I can explain it. And here, let's just go out here and see how it performs. You guys are going to want to see how the game performs, okay? It'll go below 30, all right? Like in this section, it's going to be at 30 or better. And then in the next section I'm about to take you to, it will go below 30. So you need to be aware of that. Like, I don't want you to go buy the game and not be aware of that. Okay, see how the frame rate's decent here, and this is very, very smooth. It's actually fairly pretty, all things considered, considering the resolution, considering the concessions that we had to make when it came to settings. This is actually very, very pretty. So let's go over to, where's it at? There's a thing over here that gives me super punching powers. Alright, now I can punch everything to death. Alright, where's the big dudes? You get more for your money when you punch the big dudes to death in one punch, because these guys, they're not that tough anyway. Hey, where's a big dude? There's one. Come here. There we go. There's one of the bigger dudes. Well, not bigger dudes in the game, but bigger dude in this section. All right. I can't believe it lasted this long. I was gonna say I can't believe it lasted this long, and then it stopped. All right. Unbelievably. Here, let me go to my machine gun. Unbelievably, there's still a man with a shield to harass me. I usually like to punch through the shield guys. They're actually really good at making it difficult to kill them. They're not super difficult to kill, but they do put up a fight. I'm just doing this right now in case you want to see some of the killing. Alright, so we're still in the 30s for the frame rate, but this is the best frame rate you're probably going to see. Alright, that's the sad truth. Now, I could turn some settings down to keep the frame rate better, but the goal of these videos is that have the game look good and play well. Looking good is important. Playing well is important. What I do with these videos is I try to balance the two. Alright, so now we're loading up this next phase, and it does not play as well in the next phase. So keep an eye on the frame rate counter, especially when I walk through a door. A certain door, I'll tell you which door it is. It's not this one. See, this is a decent frame rate, but you will not keep the decent frame rate. That still looks good. It doesn't look too bad. Alright, so you go through here, go out here. Go around this corner. It's this door. Alright. So let's go in here and see what happens to the frame rate. And are we below 30 yet? Yep. Now we're in the 20s. Okay. So we are just barely in the bad sections of the game, staying in the 30 frame per second neighborhood. In 1080p, you're nowhere near 30 at this point. I can't show you that in this video. I cannot change the resolution of the game in this video. It'll mess up the recording. So we have to keep this resolution. That's what we got to do. All right. Not a big deal. Look, this is still not that bad looking, right? It's still not that... Oh, 23 frames per second, but still playable. Still not bad looking. All right. That is just the reality of what we're working with the GTX 745. I was wondering... Oh, shoot. Why is my grenade not charged back up yet? Alright. That's the wrong weapon. There we go. Look at that dude with that shield take a friggin' rocket launcher. Seriously. Oh, well, I'm dying. Which is fine, because I was going to load up another mission anyway, but... Wait a minute, how good is that shield? It took, what, 5 rockets? That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous, I tell you. Ooh, splash damage got that dude. You know what? Maybe I should have taken the shield guy out with splash damage now that I do think about it. Ooh, killed that dude. Alright, so even with most of the enemies dead, the frame rate still not that great. Although that doesn't look bad. I mean, this could look a whole lot worse at 720p. This does not look too terribly shabby. But now the game's not going to do 1080 with this card, especially not in sections like this. Not in sections that affect the frame rate so much. Alright, I'm going to take you to one more section, alright? One more. Here, bask in the beauty. Alright, one more section. Let's go. Exit to main menu. It is almost 2 in the morning right now. Alright, it's almost 2 in the morning. And I've had to do a lot of work with other graphics cards. Now, just so you guys know, there are some legit reasons why I have not done a lot of GTX 745 videos lately. Alright, I've been sick. I have not had money to pick up a lot of games. Matter of fact, I've purchased 3 games this year so far. The Division, Battleborn, and Doom. And I think I have 745 videos for all 3 of them. Now, what I don't have is 745 videos for all the betas. But the problem with that is the betas are timed. Now, you might think, well, why doesn't this guy do the 745 video first? Does he hate the 745? No, that's not it at all. Here's the problem, though. I need to play the game at 1080p to know how it really plays. Alright? I need to play the game at 1080p. And I can't do that with this card. So I have to use other cards first. Well, if I'm using other cards first, and if I'm playing in 1080p first, then I may as well start seeing other 1080p tests. Do you see what I mean? So there's good news and bad news. The bad news is, in a beta, I might not have time to get to the 745. However, if you have a 745, you can play in the beta for free. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even need me to make a video. So I might not have time to get to the 745 in a beta. If I buy the game, I will have time to get to the 745. So, but that's the bad news, is I might not get to it in a beta. I keep repeating myself. But the good news is by the time I get to the 745, I have a very strong understanding of how the game plays, how it performs, how it quote unquote is supposed to perform, and as a result of that, I can actually make you a better 745 video than I could have otherwise. You see what I mean? So that's what's up. This is how the game plays with the 745. You're going to have to choose about a 720p resolution. You could go, where's it at? You could go to the 1366 by 768 if you want. I've done it. It doesn't affect frame rate too much. It does make the game look just a little bit sharper, but you can play it at 720 also. Now you can go at higher frame rates if you want. You can do 900p, you can do 1080p, but you're not going to keep 30 frames per second. That's what it comes down to. And just so you know, I am using an i7 processor. I'm using 16 gigs of RAM. So in case you're like, oh, well, what if I have such and such processor? I'm using a 4790. I keep showing you this because this is pretty. It's pretty lighting and such. And this room is kind of indicative of what to expect. Between these three areas that I've shown you, this shows you what to expect. Sometimes your frame rate will go up. Sometimes it will go down. But it will usually be close enough to 30 to get the job done. Alright? And remember, VSync is off. This frame rate is uncapped. So hopefully this video has helped you guys out. If it has, let your friends know. Share the channel with your friends. Say, hey, look, this is where to get good demonstrations at. And also, like the video and subscribe and all that. Like I said, it's almost 2 in the morning, so I actually literally had to stop and think of what I wanted to say. And I'm like, oh yeah, please like the video. This isn't that bad looking. I'm kind of mesmerized by it. Anyway, hopefully this video has been helpful for you guys. This has been AI Gaming 1776. I have a whole GTX 745 playlist. Most of the AAAs on Steam, and heck, even some Origin games probably. I'm not 100% sure on that, but probably some Origin games. I got a ton of games in there. There's at least 60 games in my GTX 745 playlist on this channel. And by the way, I will be debuting a new channel soon, because in case you haven't noticed, the name of this channel is AI Politics 2. Did not start out as a gaming channel. So I actually have some new channels in the works that some of you might be interested in. Some of you may or may not, don't know. If you want, I will still be posting here, so you don't have to go to the new channel. But if you want to go to a channel that only focuses on gaming, then it'll be there. Because this channel, believe it or not, there's like other stuff on here, and there will be other stuff on this channel, the AI Politics 2 channel, because long time ago I opened this channel up and I ended up putting all my videos on it. So I do other reviews. It's not just gaming on this channel. I do product reviews too. I'll be doing car reviews too, for that matter. Anyway, I've talked too much. It's late at night. Hopefully this video has been helpful for you guys. Let me know if it has been. And again, tell your friends and like and subscribe and all that. Have yourselves a fantastic day. Oh, and in case you have curiosity or questions or whatever, and you want to know why I chose the settings, because I know you're probably thinking like, well, what if you turn this down and blah, 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 and this, that, and the other. The short answer I can give you as to why I chose the settings that I chose is this is the best I can get the game to look, and the best I can get it to perform at the same time. I can make it look better, but it performs worse. I can make it look worse and it performs better, but it looks worse. See what I mean? Kind of a mouthful there. So this to me is the best balance of how the game looks and how the game plays. Keep in mind, despite what that frame rate says, it plays super well. All right, like it plays pretty well. And it looks pretty good too. You can make it look better. You can go to a higher resolution, but you will get a lower frame rate. All right, you can make it look worse if you want. You can turn some of these things down. Maybe you think I'm crazy. Maybe you want a higher frame rate. Here, let's do this. You've seen my custom settings. We're going to do the low settings now, right? Low settings. And see just how much better the frame rate gets. Oh, not much better at all. See? Yeah. Yeah, that's part of why I made these decisions. The frame rate just touched the 50s, I'll give you that. But by and large, even on the low settings, let's make sure we're on the low settings. Yeah. Even on the low settings, heck, let's turn AA off too, right? Let's just get down and dirty. This will probably answer your questions the quickest way possible. All right. So the frame rate is better in here. It is higher. Okay, I'm not stupid. It is higher. But it's also still sporadic. I guess you could do this if you want. You could say best settings are low settings on 720. You can do that for a higher frame rate. But you're giving up some of the eye candy. All right, so let's do that one mission though that tanks the frame rate. Let's do that again. All right, this video is only 15 minutes so far. We should be done before 20. All right, it won't be a 20-minute video. I know my videos are always long. That's another thing. I've actually spent a lot of time this year figuring out how can I show you guys everything I want to show you and have a shorter video. Because that's why my videos are so long, is I try to show everything. All right, this is making me look pretty bad. Yeah, the frame rate still goes down into the low 30s, right? Before it was like 25 when it dipped. Now it's 33 when it dips. Tell you what, it's up to you. I say go with the settings I showed at the beginning of the video. But if you really, really, really want a higher frame rate, lower anything you want, and you guys figure it out from there. All right. If you want a frame rate that is higher than what I showed you earlier, remember this is still dipping into the 30s and down to 32 and such, where before it was going to 25. Use the grenade thing, rocket thing much quicker this time. Okay. Just kill these guys. There we go. There we go. Now they're not going to bother me anymore. See, it still goes down to 32, where before it went down to like 25. Now, I was very happy with the settings that I had. But again, and this doesn't look terrible, okay? This actually, some of you are probably going to say, screw it. And you're going to want to do 720p on the lowest settings, which is perfectly valid. Look at this dude. Look at that dude. Are you... That's 6 rockets. He shrugged off the first 3. That's a very effective shield that man has. Oh, there's still bad guys around here. I don't think this game gives you a mini-map showing you the direction the enemies come from. Something to consider. Alright, we're gonna do the first section again because that has the best frame rate. Oh no, we're very close to breaking the not 20-minute video promise. We're at 18.5 minutes almost, okay? It is coming close. But yeah, I did not abandon the GTX 745. It was a rough year, man. I was really sick. Oh, wait a minute. Open. I got really sick for several weeks. And then I haven't been able... I didn't buy Dark Souls. I might have missed some other games. Look, that's only in the 40s, bro. I might have missed some other games. I couldn't get to the card during the betas. So I didn't give up on the 745. So don't think that I don't do 745 videos anymore. Because that's not true. I do 745 videos. It's just been a lot. Plus, you know, not to tell you guys too much info, but I do have kids. I got to take care of my kids. I got to take them to school. And then when you're sick, you know, you just got to focus on the family. And that's where I was. And it kind of sucks for everybody. You guys don't get videos. And then it affects my channel. I'm not going to lie. If I don't make videos, it does affect the channel. But it is what it is. So I didn't quit making 745 videos though. That's the point. Alright, the video is almost 20 minutes. I'm going to shut it off before it hits 20. As you can see, this looks pretty good. That's the lowest settings of 720p. Alright, AI Gaming 1776. This will not be a 20-minute video. Alright, peace out. Thanks for watching, guys. Tell your friends, like the video, and subscribe. Have a good night.